Hello everyone and welcome back to Cornwell Garage. My name is Ben Cornwell. Now today the topic is restoration, and specifically we're going to fix the windows on this 1987 Toyota 4Runner. So we ordered up some new outside seals because both of them are broke on this. Ordered up a new window regulator as well as two new window motors. And for good measure, a window run. So pretty much everything encompassing this window system for these power windows on this Toyota, we have ordered. Now, if you're like me, hit and place order on these restoration parts just doesn't quite hit the same. I'll be honest, I like spending money on the go fast parts, the pretty parts, I guess, the wheels and tires, anything of that nature. But to be honest, when you're restoring something or you have something old like this 87 4Runner, the benefit to spending a little time and money on restoring and not just customizing, it's huge. And I'm pretty excited because my passenger window doesn't work. So we're out on the trail and the passenger window motor decides to die in the down position, of course. So the whole rest of the day and on the way home, we didn't have a window that was working and it was pretty cold, so the wife wasn't super comfortable. So that has prompted me to fix both these windows now, change out obviously the parts you saw, the regulators, motors, the window runs, and the outside seals, so that they're working hopefully in a factory manner when it was brand new, which I have never seen. So that's pretty exciting. The other thing we're going to do today is we're going to cut all the wiring to the switches and in the doors, because what I want to do is pin some connectors and have quick disconnect wiring for these doors, because this summer I want to take these doors off and enjoy the top and the doors off. And I also, in the next video, would like to cover making some half doors with you guys. I picked some doors up for cheap, 50 bucks. And they came with glass that I need if I crack any of this stuff, which is slick. So with that, let's get started on this passenger door. We'll tear it down and we'll test and see if it's working after we get the new parts in. All right, we're over here working on this passenger door. Most of it's already undone because I already hot wired the motor to test it. It's a DC motor, so it's super simple. Ground to either one, positive to either one. It's two-prong. And depending on how you put them on, it goes up or down. And when I tested it, it didn't go up or down either way. So it was a good indicator to me that that was toast. Now I'm going to get you guys as close up so you can see some of this wiring that we're going to clean up. So I'm not super stoked about it. And I think we can do a better job. All right, so these have been chopped right here once before with just a bunch of these connectors. It's also worth noting that there's connectors all in here from the factory, just little spade ones. So we have two sets of connectors right there. We also have the original power wire cut and chopped off because I think this switch died or a part of it wasn't working too well, and they hot tapped one of the fuses and brought in this new white wire and connected it to where that old one was supposed to be. So I'd like to get this up and out of the dash and out of my fuse box, and then we'll put this one back on because I've tested the continuity on this. It's good. There's no break in this wire from here over to the fuse box in the kick panel over here. So we'll cut all this out, we'll clean it up, we'll end up having to add some, unfortunately. But it'll be a whole lot better and we'll be able to quick disconnect somewhere in here so that we can get this connector out through this hole and then maybe tie it up under the dash over here when our doors are off. Okay, now that you guys seen some of that wiring, we're going to start trying to figure out how exactly we're going to get this window up. Should be a trick. We'll see. I'm thinking if I can reach down to these 10 millimeters in the door and unhook the window, might be able to get it up and out, and then I'll just tape the window up while we work in here. Oh yeah, I can see why this window motor was having a tough time. I don't even need to hold that up. However, we did drop our 10mm and ratchet. What on earth? Can you guys comment? Let me know if this is a factory wood piece. I have a 1987 Toyota. That's actually kind of interesting. I'm a little surprised I found that in there. A piece of wood? A little, dang. I'll find something to do with it. That's stinking wild. Okay, I'm gonna grab that passenger regulator and I'm gonna see which of these bolts I need to take out because I don't want to just willy-nilly take them out. Oh, cool. Oh, check it out. This is an aftermarket motor made in China. Okay, before we put this new regulator and motor in, now I think is going to be the best time. So I took and slowly put this window back down, and we'll get this window run changed, and we'll also might as well get this changed because we have the most room we're going to for a while. Wonder how these work. Oh, it slips out. Okay. I think I'm fighting this window run just a little too much. All right. Love it. The real test is if I can move the window up and down even easily. I think there should be a little bit of resistance there because we got like this, it's almost like a little dust channel. I don't know what to call it. These little ridges. It should offer some resistance so it can seal it, but it shouldn't be as much as that old one. Oh yeah. And that right there is why I spent a little extra for OEM. That is absolutely much better. Not like monumentally, but it's holding it. And this switch is on its last leg. Come on, work for me. Or I'm gonna hotwire it. No power. I think it's that switch. It's messed up. Okay, that's good news. Means our wiring sucks. So white to positive to get it done. I got a feeling that crap wiring is probably not delivering the amount of volts it needs, because it worked much better with the battery, but then you go to the switch and it was junk. So when we're over on the driver's side, I think what I'll do is I'll clean all the contacts in those switches, because it does go through somehow over here, and it also might go through over here. So there's multiple opportunities for the resistance to be increased over all these years. So pop that guy out, pop that guy out. We'll plug this back in and we'll hang it for now, but I am going to go to the store, get some, let's see how many pins do I need. See, 2, 4, probably a 6-pin connector. There's 5 wires here that are actually used. Yep. And that goes to the DC motor on the window. Okay, I think we got her somewhat licked. I'm excited to put a new switch on this door. It's an Amazon switch of all things, but because I don't think Toyota sells them anymore. Good morning. Today I'm working outside because I've got motorcycles all over in the shop, and this has made its way out to the parking. So all we're going to do is replace the regulator and the motor for now, because I have some new like Deutsch style automotive connectors that I can make up on my own, and they won't be here till 2 more days or so. And then we'll do the quick disconnect wiring and hopefully fix up this guy. We'll try to get rid of that jumper wire, and we'll get the passenger figured out, because it is working intermittently. So okay, I can't remember if it goes in front of this window run or behind. In front. Yep, Toyota, made in Japan. It's a little crusty. So these parts and this motor I'm going to save because it's still working, because this isn't going to be the only Toyota I ever own. So, but we're going to put some new ones in and some new seals. Let's go over to the table. I think now, after I do the other side, I'll do the window run, and then I'll do the outside seal. Still, there's paint coming off of this old run. It's kind of interesting. All right, I'll go get the new one and some silicone lubricant. We'll stuff it down in there. It's in the sun right now. This one is pretty crusty. Next step, I'll have those new connectors. We'll pin in some nice quick disconnects so that we can make our half doors in our next video. All right, so to wrap this video up, I ordered some Deutsch connectors from Amazon. Check these out. I'll put a link in the description. I also ordered the correct size crimpers, 14 through 18 from, I think it's iWire or iCrimp. So let's go get those quick disconnect connectors added on there. I'm gonna learn with you guys how to use these. I've never used them. They look pretty simple. I've seen a couple videos. All right, let's get right into this. I've got my new switch here. It has all the same color wires, and I marked them again how I did before, A through E. So A is gonna be 1, B is gonna be 2. Because on these new connectors, here we go. I'm gonna get behind the camera and see if I can see this too. We are numbered, so we don't get this messed up. And I want the male end, because it's smaller, to go on this side, and the female connectors go inside this male part. And here's our female. So the female is gonna stay in the door, just like it is right here. So I have less to pull through those grommets when I take these doors off to do half doors. Let's get to it. A to 1, B to 2. Okay, and then I think there's a wedge. So everything gets aligned. Oh yeah. Okay, there is our one side completed. Moving over to our switch. Here's our new switch. It's not that pretty. It is pretty close to the same size though. I thought it was huge when I first saw it. It's a little funky. It's off of a FJ80, I think. So, should work fine though. Here's a nice view of that inside of there. It's lovely wind and weather. So this should be A. Yep. Okay, that's theoretically together. My next step is I'm gonna fix that splice because they tapped into the E wire somewhere on one of these. Yeah, E, and ran a tap from my fuse box. But I'm thinking it was a bad switch over here, and then fresh 12 volt straight from the source probably helped it along its last couple years of life. So if I fix this wire, put the splice back in, take this jumper out, clean the switches on the other side, I'm thinking it's going to be fixed. So let's move over to the other side, get that done. All right, I'm gonna go inside my shop, take these bars off, which I'm hoping is what's holding this together, and slip some little emery cloth in behind all these contacts, and hopefully make some better connections here when we put it back in. Okay, I got my switches all cleaned up on the back side, all these little contacts. Just a little bit of emery cloth or some like high grit sandpaper in there a few times. You'll clean them right back up. I took the plugs off. I got these marked because none of them are the same color except for this black and white wire. So the next step for us is to crimp on all of our the spades, I guess I'd call them. They go inside the plug. And then we'll put these plugs together, plug them in. I'll connect my battery again, and then we'll test everything, because I think where I left off, the passenger door switch had fallen apart so badly, it was no longer working with the passenger door switch or the driver door switch. So let's crimp these guys on. Please, nothing burn up, yeah? Do these work? Not at all now. That's passenger. Oh boy. I'm gonna look at a wiring diagram, trying to figure this out. All right, so I've done some research. I'm gonna start testing some things. So the wire that they tapped was my 12-volt wire. It's blue with a red stripe in it. They went straight from the fuse panel over to the passenger where it actually comes in for the power. I don't know why. But I noticed when I was hitting the switches, there was nothing on the dash. No, it wasn't showing like a load. If your window motor was toast and it was locked up, it would show a big load. Nothing would happen. Or your regulator locks that motor in place, it'll show a big load rather than it moving through and actually working. So what I found is there's 2 breakers related to the window system, and there's also a relay. So I got my multimeter out, and we're going to start testing, because I find personally on this rig and many others is you need to verify and troubleshoot rather than just spend a bunch of money, because usually you get a pretty simple fix and you save yourself a bunch of money. Because I could just throw 2 new breakers on and a window relay, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, and I just wasted 20-30 bucks and maybe a week of my time waiting for these, because I'm sure I'm not going to find this at O'Reilly. We'll try. I'm not backing on O'Reilly. That's my favorite place. Sponsor me. Anyway, we are going to start testing all this stuff, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. So let's pull out this first breaker. So I've got it set to 200K in the ohm, which is the omega symbol. Let's see. Oh, here's my breaker, you guys. It's kind of cool. Yellow and black. But leg to leg, we should see 0 or very, very close to 0 when I touch these 2 together. Excuse me. 0. Perfect. I'm gonna put that back. We'll check the next one. Another precursor, because I didn't tell you guys. I checked this wire, this blue wire with the red stripe, from here over to the passenger door where it was snipped, continuity. So we know there's no issue between there and over there. But I did this like months and months ago, just letting you guys know. So if we have an issue with this blue and the red wire, I do believe it's between the relay and the switch, or the switch and that plug where it comes back through. So we'll check those. So what it could be is in between about 2 feet of wiring. So if there's a cut in that wire, which I see it's exposed right here at the grommet, but I guess I just don't see that a whole lot. But if that's the case, I'll run a whole brand new wire, splice it in over here, splice it in over here, and that might be the case. But let's check our breakers and the relays. Okay, here's the next one. 0. Okay, I like it. Okay, here's our relay. Got a little picture for us here. So we're gonna check 1 to 2, because 3 to 4 should not have continuity. If they're both closed, maybe that's an issue. And maybe that's why it's busted. So it looks like 1 and 2 are my brass colored ones. And 3 and 4 should not have continuity. So let's check 1 and 2 to see if we have power crossed. I can actually show you guys. Here we go. You guys get to look at me and I get to look at the screen. Good. Okay, now we're going to check 3 and 4, which should be open. It is open. Okay. Let's pop this back in. And I'm going to pop the cap off of my door plug right here. I'll move you guys around. And we'll check in between and see if there's any issues here. And then we might also see about testing this wire or relay further. I haven't done a lot of testing on these, so I might have to read about it. But maybe that'll include putting power to 3 and seeing if that will open it. Because, I mean, it ought to. Something's got to charge it to close it. So if we put power to 3, like direct 12 volt, and I'm not reading 12 volt on the other side, I'm going to assume this relay's toast. That's just like my thought in my head. Maybe that's not correct. You guys can correct me. I'll leave it in the video. But I'm also going to look up how to test this. And maybe that's how you do it. But I think I'm on close to the right path. So we'll check the wiring next. And then we'll test that relay again and see if it closes and gets power through. Oh, it'd be really cool if you guys could see the screen right now, huh? We have continuity. I wish I could show you that, but it went to 0. So the wire between here and that plug is not the issue. Let's put this back together. It's always nice crossing things off. I will say I'm not super excited the fact that we haven't figured it out yet, but you know what? Progress is progress. And if you're eliminating things you're spending money on. So that is a plus, you guys. Fixing it with your wallet is not always the answer. So next step, let's somehow test that relay and see if it actually opens up and lets power through. All right, so I've got this I've got this relay out. I phoned a friend, did a little research. It does sound like my idea was pretty close to right. I've got a couple power wires to my battery right here and some spades. And what I'm gonna do, here, see this picture? We're gonna put power to 1 and 3, and we're gonna test for power. Because theoretically, if 3 gets power, it should close that, and we should get some power through. And this would make sense. If this was bad, we wouldn't be getting any power to the windows at all. So we'll put 1 to 1, which is this first brass. I didn't hear anything at all. Here's number 3, should close it. Still hearing nothing. Okay, you guys should be able to see the multimeter. It's just set for 12 volt, so we can read it. Oh, that shadow is rough. Okay, one side is to my negative on the battery. Okay, so the bottom where we did have continuity when we first checked it, looks like we got 11.3 volts, so not even the full 12.5 or whatever that should be going through. And then up top, we still have no power going through, nothing excited it. So I'm gonna assume that this is a bad relay based off of the info that I've got. I'm gonna go order me one. That relay that I was testing was the EFI one. And obviously I tested it wrong because this thing runs. So if there's no EFI relay in there, it should just keep spinning over and not have no spark. So that prompted me to look for a door control relay, which for some reason I thought I was in the right spot, but I was not. It's behind on this 4Runner, behind the engine control module in the passenger kick panel. Here is the wiring diagram, and here's the door control relay that I found behind my ECM. Now, our blue wire with the red stripe, we know is the issue that they tapped into and bypassed this. And LR right here, number 12, blue with red, is the one that we need power to, that we have 0 power to. Now power comes into this from the power window control breaker, and that's a 20 amp, and that's one of those black breakers with the yellow tops that we tested. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the plug off. We're going to go straight from 5 to 12, and theoretically we won't have a door lock anymore, but we should have power to our switches, and we'll know definitively, is it the door control relay. So let's jump over and do that and test this theory and keep troubleshooting. Okay, we're under the passenger side. Here's my ECU that I was talking about. Now here is the plug for that module we were just talking about, the door control. And we want to test it by jumping between the white with the blue with the red stripe right here, and then our power from the control breaker is our white with the red stripe. Yep, just double checking. So these two on the top need to jump together, and if we magically have windows again, I'll throw a new module in this. If not, we gotta keep digging. Okay, I'm gonna go to the other side and turn the key on. You are kidding me. All right, well, there you have it. Our door control module is bad. It was not this relay that I thought. That ended up being the EFI relay after I got a little more educated. I found the door control module behind the ECM. So if you guys are having this issue, jump it and check it. So turns out I need to get a door control module. So I'm gonna be out 150 bucks, unfortunately, but I'll have working windows and doors and locks better than before, and I'll have gotten rid of that weird fuse tap, and I'll have everything back to normal. And all the 12 volt in this entire rig right now, for once, is all functioning. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Next week, I will be making half doors out of these $50 junkyard gems right here. If you need glass, give me a message. Thanks, guys.